And if you hear that sound, man, we're ready to go. Good morning, team. What a fabulous evening.
Some of you may need that horn this morning, especially if you're in South Florida, because it's slightly rainy outside. It's a day when we reminded how spoiled we are in South Florida because we normally have beautiful mornings. But absolutely correct. What a day it was yesterday, and just still feeling the vibes.
Yeah, so I love that you say that, because that's the perfect word, vibes. Zach Stein, who used to be president of On the Ball, would in most circles be considered another son. He was the placeholder before you took over. We visited his office, his new business in Miami, and man, it was, I mean, you put that kind of star power in the room, sitting around a table, just shooting ideas and next, and what are we going to do, and who are we going to do it with? It was just exhilarating. It was really fun.
It was awesome. It's been a long time since Zach and I have had the opportunity to catch up, and excited to have him on the Huddle on Monday, to have the brother from another mother come in and for us to be able to share stories as OTB presidents and as friends and as entrepreneurs. And just really excited to have him on and be able to share the story.
There's the picture. So shout out to the cool office that they built in Miami, welcoming us as we used to do in our office. We would always put up a sign to welcome people to the show. It was just everything you dream about as an entrepreneur, you got yesterday.
Yeah, it was really awesome. And they've done an amazing job with their space. It was really just fantastic to be in there and hang out and get to share stories again and get to talk about the future, and just super proud of Zach as a friend and a brother, super proud of what he's done, and excited for the opportunity to get to work together at this point in our lives.
So just imagine if you're proud, how it feels to be.
Sure.
He came to me with like an MBA, right? And I said, so what? You know, that ain't gonna get you far, brother. Let's go to work. So anyway, great stuff. Love that the Huddle brings people together. We got a shout out to our man Goldfarb, who once again won for, look at that.
Oh wow, congratulations, Bob.
So it's a Goldfarb. Yeah, it's a winner. So Donna and Bob are just such wonderful people. Thrilled that they're in our lives, thrilled that they're working with us, thrilled that they're dressing me. Dressing us.
They do a great job. And if you do not know Bob, you need to know Bob, obviously, because he's winning awards.
So good morning, Mary Beth Bates. Mark, is that a new name to you?
That is a new name to me. I don't think I know Mary Beth Bates. Welcome to the Huddle, Mary Beth.
I don't know, but Mary Beth, welcome to the show. Let's get to some wake up music. I got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. It's Elton John's birthday, and so I picked my favorite Elton John song. Let's see if it matches up to yours. So lots of good stuff. Let's wake up.
Wake up, everybody! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Wake up! Come on! Wake up, everybody! Did you know me? Maybe then now listen what you have to say. Wake up, everybody! No more sleeping in bed. No more about to thinking, time for thinking ahead. Come on now.
Good morning to Mr. Dykes.
Good morning, Eddie.
The Eagle has landed. Mark got his package delivered. So nice job there for everybody. So today is National Waffle Day. So on National Waffle Day, what do you do but
Got to eat a waffle, right?
Gotta eat a waffle. There's breakfast this morning, man. Homemade. For the holidays, Jake had gotten me this set of really cool gourmet syrups. So I got great syrup this morning. Those are turkey.
I was going to say a sausage patty, turkey sausage patty,
turkey sausage. So just taking advantage of the day. But you know what is. There was some cool facts. It's International Waffle Day. It's celebrated on March 25th. So tell me, where do waffles come from?
Belgium.
Sweden. So
the Belgian waffle is the only waffle that matters. So forget about Sweden.
Right. So for me, there you go, chicken and waffles.
Yeah, so 1000%. Like if we're going to really talk about waffles, then we're only talking about Guthrie's in Tallahassee, and we're only talking about waffles with chicken tenders on top and doing it the right way.
Wait. So when I visited you in Cincinnati, you took me to a breakfast place that I do not remember the name, but
Taste of Belgium.
Taste of Belgium. Oh my God, that's They made that sandwich in between two waffles. Yes. I think it might have been a burger in between.
Yes. Well, you could do a burger, but you could also do fried chicken and do a fried chicken in between two waffles that were Belgian waffles. If you are ever in Cincinnati, and shout out to our Cincinnati crew who always joins us, make sure you go to Over the Rhine. Make sure the area is Over the Rhine. Make sure you get into Taste of Belgium and have breakfast there, because the coffee and waffles are definitely worth the visit.
That was the highlight of the trip, man. Going to a baseball game in May when it was 40 degrees was nuts, man.
So,
anyway, great stuff. So it's National Waffle Day. Go out, get yourself a waffle, enjoy. But it brings me back to our new segment, which got tremendous reviews. Would you rather have a waffle or a pancake?
Waffle? What? It's not even close. It's not even like pancakes are like once in a year, maybe. Like you're going to have it because like you're so hungover that you feel like you need a cake to sop up everything that's inside of you. So like a waffle, like you could have a waffle with peanut butter. You could have a plain waffle with butter. You could have there's so many different ways to have a waffle that, makes it an enjoyable breakfast. It's hands down a waffle.
So here's the thing, at Mr. Dykes, I eat gluten-free waffles.
Gluten-free waffles.
The one thing you got to stay away from, and this is what's so great, because when you think of waffles or talk about waffles, you got to talk about one of the greatest advertising campaigns ever, which was Lego my Eggo.
Yeah, the Eggo waffle is a classic. Not something that's going to be good for you for sure. But
for sure not.
So when I think about waffles, and I can't believe we're having a 5-minute conversation about waffles, I think of the movie Shrek, right? Because to me, Eddie Murphy evangelized I'm making waffles, like that line of like, if somebody stays over at your house and you go, oh, what are you doing tomorrow for breakfast? Oh, I'm making waffles.
This Mary Beth gets right into it with ice cream. And she's going right for dessert. Would you do ice cream for breakfast? Is the
Chris White speaking my language too. Bacon bourbon infused waffles. Like, wow. Hello.
There you go, brother, man, laying it down. So it just goes to show you that we can have a 5-minute conversation about waffles. You can have a 5-minute conversation with anyone, anytime, about anything except what you're selling. Do not do it. So speaking of selling and speaking of advertising, we all know the name Betty Crocker. Now, this is fabulous. This was a story I knew years ago, but it sort of got layered on top of, with many other stories, and I just forgot it. When I was in Nashville, one of the speakers on stage brought the story up, and I was like, I remember that story. It was really cool about Betty Crocker. Betty Crocker is actually a made-up name, by the way. There is no such person as Betty Crocker. That's cool. But the story that he brought up about her was about how when they launched Instant Cake Mix, this is a very relevant story, it failed miserably. Nobody could figure out why, because it was at a time when consumers were looking for convenience. Certainly today, people are looking for convenience. So anyway, this guy tells the story, and I'm like supercharged because it reminded me of all that thought process.
Mm.
You know, Seth Godin comes up with the story as well.
Yep.
So I'm sharing it with you. So it failed at retail. Nobody bought it. They go back to the drawing board. Do you know the story?
Yeah, well, the reason it failed was because all you had to do was add water. So it was too convenient. There was
Correct.
too much convenience it didn't really feel like you were making the cake. So they went back to the drawing board. Go ahead, you can finish the story.
Well, so the takeaway was they repackaged it, re-promoted it, and said you had to go get your own egg. One egg. Crack the egg, put it in there, and it absolutely exploded. Made it one of the top take-home, products ever. Sales went through the roof. And the takeaway is that when you assemble it yourself, there's a sense of pride. And I'm going to relate this to social media. For those of you who are doing it automated, for those of you who are saying, can I hire somebody else to do it? No, you can't. This is all about you telling stories, sharing it with your audience. So you can't mail it in. You got to assemble it yourself. And there were lots of toys that said assembly required.
Yep.
And the old people in this group like me will remember those were cool toys. Kai loves to assemble stuff.
Yeah. There's a sense of pride about it. There's more value to it when you feel like you do it yourself. That's why Betty Crocker did so much better when it became add oil and an egg instead of adding just water, because it became, I got to mix it. So I'm not making the full cake, but I still feel like I'm making the cake. And this, like, I think about it, and I had this conversation yesterday because we got into this LinkedIn conversation while we were sitting at the table. And there's these softwares that are being developed to resemble personalization in the connection request. I got hit with one that was very good, right? They had narrowed the targets down so closely that the message to me was, I would love to connect with a fellow entrepreneur. And I was like, alarms going off in my head. Like, number one, I've never heard that word before. Fantastic. Number two, absolutely, you have my attention and I want to connect with you. Come to find out that is a targeted automated message. But if that person so the first thing that I do is I go to their page and I look at their content and I look at who they are. Had they had nothing else there, I'm out, right? The word got me to create interest. They got my attention. I needed more from them in order to create the connection, and I got it because they were doing it. So you can take that one little piece, and sure, you can somewhat automate it to get my attention, but it requires more work. You got to be putting content out there. You got to be putting yourself out there. And that comes to the conversation that you and I have been having through email about these videos of, we live in a world where the omni-channel of buyers and where people want to make decisions and how they want to find information, there are countless different channels that you have to be in order to do that. And if you're missing one, you're missing opportunity to connect with a person that could be there. So Carol asked, entrepreneur as in a Seminole. So entrepreneur, Seminole combined.
Which is actually really clever.
Love the word.
Really clever. I mean, Michael Ludis, the chairman of the CEO of Profi, he's an entrepreneur. He can instantly identify with that, so anybody that we know that went to Florida State that's in business is an entrepreneur. So I really like that as a category creator.
Right.
But even that thought, assembly was required to come up with the thought.
Correct.
It didn't just show up on someone's plate. They thought through it. So this whole idea of assembly required, I'm taking it to all of my speeches that I'm doing in April, because nothing happens unless you're willing to do the work. So that brings us to motivational music. As I said, it's Elton John's birthday. I want to see if the crowd wants to get involved. Take guesses as to what you think my favorite Elton John song is. First, you.
I'm going to say that Rocket Man is your favorite song.
It is not. That would be Entrepreneur.
Candle in the Wind.
No. One more try.
Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me.
Negative. Here is my favorite song by Elton John in one of my favorite movies. Go.
Blue jean baby, LA lady, seamstress for the band, ballerina, you must have seen her dancing in the sand. Now she's in me, always with me, tiny dancing in my hand. Jesus freaks out in the street, handing tickets out for gone. Turning back, she just laughs. The boulevard is not that bad. Piano man, he makes a stand in the auditorium, looking on. She sings her songs, the words she knows, the tune she hums. All because her tiny dancer.
I have to go home.
Whoa!
So, I love that movie so much. What's your biggest takeaway from that movie and that scene? Like knowing where the story of that movie and what had happened prior to that and what culminates right there on the bus. What's your takeaway?
That life is a collaborative journey.
It's all about the music.
It's all about the people.
It's all about the music. Right. Yeah. It's all about the people. But for them, it was all of that was the one thing that brought them all together. And I think about that when I was in football, it was all, if it wasn't all about the game for you, you weren't going to fit into my world. You weren't going to fit in to the teams that I was building and the organization that I was building. Cause that's what it's about. It's about that thing. I love that movie. I love that.
And you can watch that movie anytime it's on. Almost Famous, way to go, Bob, way to get it. It is one of those classic movies that has music and people and fun. And wouldn't you know that the lead of the band, Jake had dinner with in LA.
I know, it's so sick. He's a great actor. He's a great actor.
Jake's looking at the guy going, I know you from somewhere.
He was in the morning show.
Correct.
On Apple TV, and that he was phenomenal in that. Absolutely loved him. And
Love
he's
it,
a South Florida guy. He's a St. Thomas kid.
That's exactly right. So anyway, I'll switch gears to the final segment. I want you to think about this segment for the rest of the weekend. What do you got?
Well, just I'm gonna have to be listening to Elton John all morning now because there's not one song. You can't pick one.
That's exactly right.
I'm gonna go down the whole album.
And if you just Google Elton John's top songs, the pages go on.
You got days of music to listen to.
Shit, man. So it's great, man. So it happens to also be Aretha Franklin's birthday. Wah, wah, wah. She lost Elton John. So which would you rather have, Elton John or?
I'm going Elton. Aretha's great.
Finish up with this. This is a really cool thought that basically takes assembly required and then talks about the power of doing. Give me Albert Einstein.
You gonna read it?
Yeah. Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. So when you see that, what do you instantly, when you think of compound interest, what do you think of?
1%.
You think money? Don't you think money?
Not me, not in my head.
Not you.
I think 1% better. I think that is the mentality of if I can stack days, if I can add just 1% every day, the compound effect of that is so exponentially large that it legitimately makes success inevitable.
So, what you do with your time, the assembly that you create over a period of time is more valuable. It compounds. You put in $1 today, you buy Apple stock today versus or 10 years ago. The compounding nature of behavior is overwhelming. There's nothing that compares to it. So I put together a list, it's compiled from a couple of different authors of things that have incredibly high ROI when you do them all the time. So if you're going to invest your time, what are some of the things that you can invest your time in? And I don't know if you saw the list, but it's pretty crazy.
I didn't. I missed the list, so I'm excited to share. But the first thing that comes to my mind is obviously relationships.
Well, right? Of course. So if you're going to invest, that's return on relationships, man. It's one of the things we talk about all the time, that there is a return if you invest. And investing in something does not mean you get a return on it the day you do it. You don't get a return when you plant a seed. Seeds take a long time. You got to water them, you got to cultivate them. Some grow, some don't.
And investing has to cost you something, I think, right? Like it's got to cost you some energy. It's got to cost you some time. It's got to cost you. You have to actually give to that relationship. It can't be superficial. It can't be phony. It's got to be genuine, and it's got to really cost you some brain power and some giving in order to really invest in a relationship.
So if you put a time frame on that, which is really kind of investing time, I was with a client the other day and he said to me, I want to work on my 5 and my 10-year plan. And I said, fuck that. What are you talking about? I was like, it's not part. Look at what happened between 5 years ago and today.
Look at the pictures I posted this morning. That you want a 10-year plan? There's no way that I could have. And that picture with Zach and Jake said in 10 years, this is where I want to be. There's no way. There's no way.
And so at the most, I think 3 years. You can set a goal for 3 years out. Look at the plan that you and I did. We're coming up on 3 years.
Yep. And
it is humming along very much like we intended, but we couldn't have done that 2 years prior. Would have been ridiculous.
No.
So, my conversation for you today is look at the behaviors. Where are you investing your time? If you invest your time properly and you do it over a reasonable time frame, you will get the results.
I love it. I
what
absolutely
a nice way to end the week. The grind includes Saturday and Sunday. Don't forget that.
Some other exponential activities that you can do: exercise, right? 20 minutes. Give me 20 minutes daily, exponential growth, and your diet, right? Just eat healthy for a couple days in a row and watch the compound effect it has on your energy and your sleep and the way you feel.
I'll leave you with one that's a little bit more esoteric, but it works. Random acts of kindness.
Yep.
Just be nice.
Yep.
And watch what happens. If you're nice over a 3-year period, it will boomerang back to you. It is that simple. Just be nice. Do the right thing. Hold the door. Smile at people. Say thank you. Do the right thing all the time. Be nice and see what happens. You guys have a great Friday, a great weekend. Monday, I will be speaking. So I will not be in the Huddle Monday or Tuesday. I'll be traveling and doing all kinds of stuff. But Mark is here with Zach Stein. You do not want to miss that interview.
It's going to be a fantastic show. Let's go.
Shay's getting his arm warmed up for that first pitch.
Oh, that's right. Did we tell people that or no?
No, we didn't tell anybody yet. We didn't tell anybody.
Yeah. So I will, through our fellow Huddler, Maria Pumajero, I will be throwing out the first pitch at Ballpark of the Palm Beaches during the national.
Yeah. On the ball is on the mound, baby. Let's go.
And I will be going from the mound because there's no other way to do it. So
Yeah, let's go. Can't wait to see the video, Shay. Have a great weekend. Let's go.
Everybody have a great weekend. Take us home.
Please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. My friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Give you one more night